in the quiet village of Chardstock, nestled in the rolling hills of East Devon near the border of Dorset, where ancient oaks cast long shadows and the river Kit murmurs secrets to the meadows. The church of St. Andrew stands as a steadfast guardian of time. Its churchyard, a patchwork of weathered gravestones and yew trees, holds more than mere bones. It cradles the restless spirit of the Grey Lady, a spectral figure whose mournful pilgrimage from the vicarage to the churchyard has haunted the village for centuries. Frequently seen, yet never fully known, her vague form in a greyish dress drifts through the twilight, her presence a whispered mystery that lingers like mist over the graves. The origins of the Grey Lady are veiled in the fog of Chardstock's past, though the earliest tales trace back to the late 1600s, a time of plague and upheaval when the village bore the weight of sorrow like a heavy cloak. Some say she was Eleanor Marwood, a vicar's daughter who lived in the old vicarage beside the church in the 1670s. Eleanor was a gentle soul, her days spent tending the parish poor and playing the organ in St. Andrew's, her music a balm to the weary. Betrothed to a young curate from Axminster, her life seemed poised for joy, but fate turned cruel. In 1678, her beloved fell ill with a fever and died days before their wedding, leaving Eleanor shattered. Grief consumed her, and within a year, she too was found dead in her bedchamber, her heart broken beyond mending, clutching a faded letter from her lost love. She was buried in the churchyard beneath a simple stone, but her spirit, bound by sorrow, could not rest. Since then, the Grey Lady has been a frequent visitor to Chardstock's nightfall. She appears as a vague creature, her form indistinct, clad in a greyish dress that shimmers faintly like moonlight on water, her face obscured by shadow or perhaps by grief itself. Her journey begins at the vicarage, a timber-framed building now modernized, but still standing, beside the church, where she emerges at dusk or in the small hours, drifting silently across the lane. Her steps leave no mark on the dew, her passage makes no sound, and yet her presence chills the air as she moves with purpose toward the churchyard. There, among the graves, she lingers briefly, sometimes pausing by the yew tree near the north wall, sometimes kneeling where her own stone is said to have crumbled away, before disappearing into the earth or fading into the mist, as if drawn back to some eternal vigil. The earliest recorded sighting came in 1712, when a sexton named Thomas Jones, tending to a late burial, glimpsed her gliding from the vicarage gate. He described her as a wisp of sorrow in grey, her form so faint he thought her a trick of the twilight, until the air turned cold and the lantern in his hand flickered out. He fled, but not before seeing her vanish near a cluster of graves by the church porch. Over the centuries, others followed, farmers returning from fields, children daring each other on moonlit nights, vicars locking the church after evensongle reporting the same ethereal figure, her greyish dress trailing behind her, her journey ending in the churchyard where she melted away like a sigh. In 1853, a young vicar named Reverend Charles Harrowell, newly appointed to St. Andrew's, encountered her on a foggy November evening. He'd been reading in the vicarage when he felt a sudden chill and unease that drew him to the window. There, in the gloaming, he saw her, a vague shape in grey, moving with a slow, mournful grace across the lane toward the churchyard. Curious and unafraid, he followed, his boots crunching on the gravel as he tried to keep pace. She paused by the yew tree, her form shimmering as if caught between worlds, and turned as if to look at him, though he could not see her face, before fading into the shadows of the graves. Harrowell wrote of the encounter in his journal, noting the profound sadness that lingered in her wake. as if she carried centuries of grief in her silent steps. The sightings continued into the 20th century, each one adding to the Grey Lady's legend without unraveling her mystery. In 1927, a dairymaid named Elsie Taverner saw her while fetching water from the village pump. Her grey figure drifting past like a breath of fog, disappearing into the churchyard as the clock struck midnight. In 1965, a group of teenagers camping near the church claimed they spotted her twice in 1 week, her vague form glowing faintly under the gibbous moon before vanishing by the same yew tree where Harrowell had seen her fade. The villagers came to accept her as part of Chardstock's fabric, a mournful spirit whose sorrow posed no threat, though her presence stirred a quiet reverence for the churchyard's sanctity. Some believe the Grey Lady is Eleanor Marwood, still mourning her lost love. Her nightly walk, a pilgrimage to the grave where she hoped to rest beside him, a hope unfulfilled in life and death. Others speculate she guards the churchyard, her grey dress a shroud for secrets buried deeper than her bones. Whatever her purpose, she remains a fixture of Chardstock's twilight, her vague form a reminder of love's fragility and grief's endurance. On quiet evenings, when the mist gathers thick and the church bell tolls the hour, some still glimpse her, a flicker of grey moving from vicarage to churchyard, disappearing into the night as silently as she came, her story unwritten but felt in the chill of her passing. Today, the Church of St. Andrew stands, as it always has, in Chardstock, its churchyard a place of peace and memory, its yew trees whispering to the graves below, the vicarage modernized but rooted in its ancient bones, gazes across the lane, and the Grey Lady's path remains a quiet thread in the village's tapestry. Those who see her speak of her with a mix of awe and pity, for in Chardstock, where the past walks hand in hand with the present, the Grey Lady endures, a vague creature in a greyish dress, forever bound to her sorrowful journey, disappearing into the earth, where her heart was laid to rest. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, like, follow, subscribe, and comment below.